What's up, everyone? Joker here, bringing you another audio commentary. I got a treat for you today. We got Faker on LeBlanc. This is back when he was on the NA server, and he is playing against a brand. Let's see, runes and masteries, real quick. We got standard AP runes for the most part. 9 magic pen reds, 9 armor yellows. He's got scaling AP blues. This is something I see Faker pretty much does on all his AP champs. Not positive because you can't see the runes in most of the pro games, but I've checked out his rune page after a few games I've watched of his, and he has these runes. They're scaling AP. They give you the most bang for the buck once you're past level 7 or 8. Not exactly positive, but on a champion like LeBlanc, he's gonna just want to shoot for disgusting high AP totals as the game goes on, and these are the best runes to be able to do that. He doesn't feel he needs MR just because LeBlanc has a silence and a lot of ways to escape, and he doesn't feel he needs the early game boost from, say, flat AP blues. And then Quince, just plus 5 AP times 3, standard there. Mastery wise, 2109, pretty standard. Ignite mastery, 3 points in CDR, scaling AP and the magic pen, 3 points in havoc, flat AP, all the percentage AP. You don't see this on too many champs, but on someone like LeBlanc, who's going to just be wanting to blow someone up and stacking up that AP as high as she can get it, these are definitely worth it. 1 point in spell sword is kind of a filler point. It's better than it's better than like 1 point in this, just because she has such high AP even to start the game. That helps with last hit a little bit, and just the random auto attack she might cast on the other champ. And then Executioner, of course, to finish off those kills. Utility wise, there's only one thing that is worth noting here. Everything is pretty standard. He gives up 1 point in the Mastermind, which is the summoner spell cooldown reduction, and he puts 2 in Artificer. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that word, if it's even a word, but the idea behind this is you get 15% off activated items, and in most circumstances that's just worth those points. But on LeBlanc, you're going to be getting DFG almost every game. You're going to be rushing it almost every game, and these 2 measly points brings the cooldown on DFG from a minute long to what would it be, 6, 9, about 50 seconds. So it gets about 10 seconds off that, which is pretty huge. Just lets you use it that much quicker. Definitely worth it for the 2 points there. And without further ado, we'll get the game started. Starting item wise, he goes with a flask and potions, and the brand has a Dorn's ring and potions. The flask is here because Brand can actually trade back with LeBlanc early game, and he might be able to win the duel if they both went Dorans, but LeBlanc doesn't have much sustain. Neither does Brand, but this is just a kind of a safety thing. Lasts longer in lane, and you'll see LeBlanc go Dorans in most matchups, but against champs that can actually trade back, she'll generally go with the flask, and Brand is one of those few champs that has the strong enough early game to trade back and potentially win. So that's why you see the flask there. You see he's got 25 AP with those runes and master choices, so he's still dealing good damage. And here we go. Coming to lane. Just auto attacking down. LeBlanc's going to get pushed in by most people, so there's no real harm in auto attacking constantly. Oh, and you see Brain got blue there. I'm not sure if that was an accident. It might have been. His passive might have taken it, or it might have been intentional. I really doubt it was intentional. That would set Lee pretty far behind. It looks like Brain didn't get full XP for it, so Lee at least got half XP. So it wouldn't set him as far behind. But this is going to be a problem for LeBlanc early it would be a problem for anybody. He's ahead in levels, and he just has no mana issues, not to mention lower cooldowns. But you see LeBlanc got a nice trade there. That's the standard harass combo for LeBlanc in lane, is the Q and then the W, and W right back. Take nothing in return. And it's really hard to avoid. The only things you can really do are stay out of Q range, which is pretty tough, or you can preemptively cast skill shots like in front of you where LeBlanc will be Wing. Like for instance, Brand can cast his W right under his feet when LeBlanc closes the distance, but that's hard to do consistently. And a good LeBlanc player is going to be able to sniff that out and make you waste mana just casting spells looking like an idiot at your feet. So anyways, pretty even so far. Brand has a few extra CS, but more of the wave is coming at LeBlanc. And he healed up just fine from that minor harass that he was taking. See, Faker uses the Q there to secure that last hit. That's one thing you definitely need to do as LeBlanc, is use those Qs to get those last hits. You see he does there, but he doesn't quite have enough. And since Brain got that blue and all the extra early power that gave him, LeBlanc isn't looking to be bullying this lane just yet. She's just going to wait for her time. And it looks like with this Aatrox gank, that time might be now. The enemy team did ping when Aatrox was walking up, but Brand has no current vision on him, so he has no idea if he's still waiting there or not. Oh, and it looks like Aatrox is going. Nice Q there. Ooh, nice play there. And there's your first blood. So well done by Faker. He closes the distance and gets his QE combo off with the stun and a couple auto attacks and grabs the first blood. It didn't say first blood, the announcer didn't call it. That was kind of weird, but nevertheless, nice early lead for LeBlanc despite Brand getting blue. And one thing you do not want to do is give LeBlanc a kill pre-6. She hits a power spike at level 6 that not many champions can deal with, even if they're slightly ahead. But if you give her a lead going into that portion of the laning phase, you're just going to be pushed around. You can't really do anything. And Brand got a Dorn's Ring here when he should have got a No Magic Mantle. He absolutely needed the MR. Not to mention LeBlanc actually got that blue before it ran out on him, so that's even worse. I foresee a rough laning phase for Brand, but I guess we'll see. So it looks like Lee Sin is in their jungle. I did forget to mention we got some other players that I'm sure everyone will know. Wild Turtle's on Ezreal on Baker's team. And we have Quantic Apple, you may not know him. He's the jungler for the new Quantic team that based out of Korea that is that moved to the US. And he's on Lee Sin. So some big names. Anyways, we got Brand roaming down here, and this is one thing, this was a smart choice by Brand. That looks like a kill. Yeah. He knew he couldn't stay in the lane whatsoever with the blue buff LeBlanc that has Faker controlling her, that has a lead. So he did, he roamed down and made a play bottom. And that might not even be worth it gold-wise for him, although it probably was if he catches this wave. But anyway, just a second here. It looks like Faker's looking to make a play. Okay, so he goes on him, forces the flash. Lee Sin is there. Oh, it looks like he's going for it. And the flash auto finishes it. Very nice. And now he's looking to get the double. So he knew Brand was walking up there. And Brand was still only level 5, and he was able to use that crazy level 6 burst. Get him low enough to where he could just flash auto. To finish what I was saying, Brand, it might not have been worth it, and now it definitely wasn't worth it since he died. But he's helping his team out in other lanes and hoping that they can establish a lead and use that to swing the game. He does nothing if he just sits in lane and dies to LeBlanc. So at least he was able to make a play bot. Unfortunately, he walked back the dangerous way and gave up a kill for it. So in the end, it wasn't worth it. But if he would have been safer and walked around right here to his turret, it definitely would have been the better choice than trying to lane against LeBlanc. Unfortunately, he did give that kill, and now he's even in an even bigger hole. One that he really can't get out of without big jungle camp or a big misplay by Faker, which I don't foresee. If you weren't aware, LeBlanc is the champion that Faker kind of made his big debut onto the pro scene in OGN in the, I think it was the spring, might have been, yeah, I think it was the spring. Brought out LeBlanc and pretty much hard carried a game. It was like 10-0, 11-0 or something. And forced us to surrender at 20. Faker was well known in Korea before that, just for dominating solo queue, but that was kind of his big pro. Welcome to the pro moment. Anyways, gold-wise, despite LeBlanc's domination of mid, purple team is actually slightly ahead, and it looks like Graves has a kill, and Brand has that one kill. He got bottom. I'm trying to see why that would mean so much gold. Okay, it looks like top lane is actually getting completely dominated. Riven is down like 40 CS. So that would explain it, but it's only 200-ish gold. Definitely not game-changing yet. And Brand is doing another smart thing when you can't safely stay in mid lane. It's really easy to just wait around and get most of the farm at the turret. And while you're doing that, you can just take jungle camps, which he did. He took the wolves. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, he gets most of those. Nice use of his passive. Like LeBlanc backed. Picked up a large rod. So he's going to have a DFG real soon, and it's going to be a real early DFG. I already talked a little bit about LeBlanc's crazy power spike at level 6. And her second power spike is going to be when she gets her DFG. At that point, she pretty much can one-shot anybody on the map. Assuming it's not some guy who just like stacked 150 MR. But if she gets a good DFG into combo off, not many people can survive that. And it even gets to the point where she can DFG and like use like half of her combo and still blow up a squishy. And that's only, I think, 680 gold away. So his next back, he'll more than likely have enough for that DFG. You see, there's your basic harass once you're level 6, W, Q, R, and then you throw the E to hopefully proc the second half of your second Q. Unfortunately, the E didn't land there. Had it landed, he probably would have been able to stick around and finish Brand off. But he cast it from a pretty safe distance since he didn't want to take a turret shot, and that made it pretty hard. LeBlanc's E is not the easiest thing to cast, or easiest thing to land, especially from like max distance. Pretty tough. That was a nice one there. He anticipated that, and now he just throws a little Q and W's away to safety. Just throwing some harass down, telling Lee Sin to go away. You see, Brand has 74 CS, so he's keeping up pretty well. He's only down about 13, despite really having to just kind of hide and throw spells like that just to pick up single CS. But he is zoned, and he will miss some CS because of it. You see, Lee Sin is wisely waiting around. But LeBlanc can be a frustrating champion to try to gank just because of how many tools she has to escape. And it looks like Lee Sin might pay with his life. No. Only had one W, didn't have his ult up, so he couldn't completely chase that down. And there's the flash QE and ignite to finish him off. So in the end, that was a foolish gank by Lee Sin. And it really is almost pointless to try to sit and counter gank, or counter LeBlanc, who is going aggressive if your laner is that far behind. what's usually going to happen is LeBlanc's going to W in, combo your laner, take them to half or lower, plus the silence, and then just instantly W out when he sees you, and you're not going to be able to catch up. Ooh, Olaf going crazy. And Faker underestimated the super farmed Olaf, and he picks up a nice shutdown, so that leaves the purple team still with their around 1,000 gold lead, a little bit lower at the moment. Looks like bot is fairly even. Graves has a kill. Ez is down like 10 CS, but has an extra assist. And nice play by Thresh there. Ooh, this will be close. And Wild Turtle cannot stick around for the end of that fight. He would have lost. Had he set and thrown a Q, he might have been able to. Oh. See if Lee Sin gets outplayed. No, he gets one. He might get two. Oh no, he's dead now. Oh, that was really close. But Ezreal shifts away. And Riven is kind of doing the same thing that Brand was doing when he was unable to lane. She can't lane with Olaf right now. So she roamed and helped the bot lane out. Aatrox got a little too brave, but Ezreal cleans it up. So that overall is a win for blue. They close the gold by a couple of hundred. And Riven will be back to top lane in time to pick up that farm. So we have one top laner way ahead, one mid laner way ahead for the other team. Faker's aggression little short of a kill there, and Brand had some nice counterplay. Let's see if he can chase down the Sona. He should be able to kill her just fine. This brush was warded, so she couldn't hide out in there, and now he's just going to easily W, Q, E, and then W back, probably. Oh, no. She ran, so he had to use the ult for the second W. Either way, another kill for Faker. I'm not sure what he'll pick up, but it looks like purple gets dragon off that. Ooh, this Ezreal ult might have... Oh, Aatrox stole it. That's no good. Oh, that was sick right there. Aatrox uses Q and then instantly hits the lantern to get across. But Graves gets him anyways. And then nice blow up by Faker. Killing the Lee Sin. So it doesn't actually say the DFG cooldown. Maybe it will after he uses it.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
But anyways, blue team took about a 1k lead off that, 1.5. And that's off Riven getting a turret, although they look like they'll lose mid here. Faker just doing some wave clearing with his W and ult combo. And then just getting back to safety instantly. Meanwhile, Riven continues to push. And they will go kick her out of there. So, your W turns into a pretty good wave clear tool as LeBlanc. And you see the air, he used it to get most of that wave low. He wasn't able to finish it off. You can also use the W and then the R to completely clear a wave. But I think his ult was still on cooldown. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can kind of auto them down until they're in range and then just W to finish it off. Or just W right away and then blasted him from there. So it looks like Faker grabbed another large rod, so he had a nice gold amount. And I'm guessing that's for a death cap next. Could potentially be an hourglass, but I don't really see it. Double kill for Wild Turtle and his Thresh, and he is now 5-1. So this game is starting to look good for blue. Got 5-1 on Faker, 5-1 on Ezreal. Got your kills right where you'd want them. Riven's down, but she still farmed well, fairly well, and she didn't die. So she did the right way of losing a lane, which is to lose by medium CS amount, stay alive, and help elsewhere. Nice play there by Lee Sin. Ooh, and that shows you LeBlanc's burst. And Lee Sin is thinking about it, but
think he knows that that's not going to end well for him. LeBlanc still has her DFG, and you see her ult is... okay, he's getting away. He might not, actually. No, Riven should have went a long way. It would have eventually forced him to go up here and get hit by Aatrox, or to go deal with her. But I think Faker's there. Yep. Too much mobility on LeBlanc. Once you have blue in level 2 ult
and some points in W, you can just dash around the map really, really quickly. A good rule of thumb is don't use your R to get a second W just for mobility until you're level 11 and have the lower cooldown ult. And obviously you don't want to do that if you're like running to a fight, because you want your ult for the fights. But other than that, it can be a good way to get back to lane faster. Ooh, big time double kill there. That's pretty sweet. It's just a simple W, and then use his ult to cast another W, get the AoE damage, take both of them out. I think he may have DFG'd one of them, not positive, but he also had his Q and his E up. Once he was in range of both of them like that, even if the dash didn't immediately blow him up, he could have just killed him with one more spell. So Aatrox gets his passive pop, but I think it was ultimately a good bait. As Lee Sin, nope, not quite gonna die, but we have the Faker's 9-1, so that is that. Oh, they actually get little Ez, but Lee Sin, oh, he actually failed W over that wall. It's a very common place to do that on LeBlanc. It looks like you should be able to. Ooh. Well, that's not Faker's proudest moment right there.
So he failed his W over this wall, and then he came up here. He had the right idea. He was going to cancel someone's back, but he didn't cancel it in time. So that damage was wasted. And Sona landed a perfectly timed ult on him. I'm not even sure if that was on purpose, but either way. Got stuck in that, and with very little spells left to cast, Lee Sin's able to finish him off. Keep in mind this Lee Sin, oh, I guess his score's not that good. 3-3 and 6. But he has been making some plays. Score doesn't quite reflect it, but he seemingly played really well. And this game is quite close. Under 1,000 gold lead. It's pretty much meaningless at this point. They both have some turrets they've taken out. Mid and top for blue. And mid, bot, and top for purple. Oh, they actually got a second tier mid as well. So that helped them get back in the game for sure. Looks like we may have a dragon soon. Lee Sin clearing the pink out, but he is kind of alone at the moment. And he has some tankiness, but I fear for him if LeBlanc is able to give her full combo to him. And now she's looking for a pick off on someone who's coming to help with this dragon contest. And that's one thing, if you're going to play LeBlanc, that you need to learn. You need to seek out those 1v1s, because you will win them once you master how to cast her combos and everything. Obviously, wards are going to be your big enemy in those situations, so definitely want to pay attention. Oh, some nice juking there from Faker. And Brand dies like an idiot, and she turns around again, although I don't think that one was necessary or even smart. But Flash saves her, saves him. And also gets a kill on Olaf. And looks like he'll be able to chase down one more if he wants to now. Doesn't want to risk it. I think Ez has this one. Blanc has his ult back up. Or ult, whatever.
And DFG.
Like 3 seconds, so no one wants to get near. That's one of the most underrated aspects of LeBlanc is how low her ult cooldown really is. I mean, look at that, 21 seconds. People like to say that she's kind of like a glass cannon who just comes in and blows her load and does nothing, but it's not really true. You can very easily get 2 ults off in one fight. And LeBlanc has a surprising amount of utility for such a bursty champion. If your initial assault on whoever, their mid, their AD carry, whoever, if that fails, you can still kind of fall back and be a good peeler for your backline. Her E is a very nice tool for that, as well as just silence in general. I mean, it might not be mages that are coming to kill you, but okay, I need to watch that again because I was talking. It seemed like it was pretty sick. Okay, so we got Graves here. And okay, well, the Ez ult secured that, but LeBlanc had him dead to rights either way. Although I think she did miss her E. Now they go up to deal with the crazy tanky Olaf. But LeBlanc has plenty of damage to deal with him. Oh, that damage. And this game is starting to get pretty ugly. Still fairly close, but Blanc is 11-2. Oh, another field W actually. And that caused Ezreal to slide. And that is the one advantage of Brand versus LeBlanc that I always remember loving when it actually worked out is her passive pops a clone when she goes under 40% HP, and Brand's ult needs something to bounce off of. Most times if Brand is in a 1v1 or a 2v1 or whatever with a champion that's not around any minions, his ult is fairly worthless. It still gets one nice damage tick off, but then it kind of just like fades out into the abyss. But with LeBlanc, her ult pops. Perfect timing for his ult, and it just bounces back and forth and it just shreds her instantly because her ult pops right next to her. It's always pretty funny to see. But anyways, we have a Brand who built a Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, a Giant's Belt, Merc Treads, and Athene. So not a lot of damage on that guy right now. Meanwhile, Faker has DFG Death Cap and half of his, not half, but the expensive part of his Void Staff. So kind of just fishing for a pick there.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
At this point, the other team knows that if LeBlanc gets a clean jump on them, they're 100% dead. So at this point, for them, it's about staying together and making sure to CC her and blow her up. It's pretty much the only thing you can do. You can go Banshee's Veil, and for the AD carry and potentially the AP carry, that's definitely going to be necessary. You see Graves already got a Negatron, so that's going to help. And he might upgrade that into something next, although I'm sure he'll probably finish his last Whisper, which he's pretty close to. So Wild Turtle dies, solo pushing bot. I don't think a whole lot's gonna happen off that. And they jump on Olaf, but I think he's a bit too tanky for that. Faker absolutely murders Sona. And Brain gets a nice ult off, but doesn't quite do enough. Another kill for Faker. And you see his spell-wise, he's waiting for that R before he thinks about doing anything. He also has his DFG still, so.
and disengages before Graves damage comes through. That didn't quite go perfectly. He blew his DFG there, but didn't get his primary combo off. But he does get the Lee Sin, so Faker is just kind of
making fools out of this purple team. Misses E there. Looks like he is maybe a bit unfamiliar with how the new LeBlanc works. I know he had said that he hadn't played the new LeBlanc after her kind of rework. It wasn't that much of a rework, but mini rework, I guess. And it looks like he's a little bit rusty with a couple aspects of her kit, mainly just the W being I don't even know if the walls that W can jump over changed, but certainly looks like he's not 100% familiar with which ones are jumpable. But that's kind of being nitpicky when LeBlanc is 14-3. So kill for Olaf, but they're not going to take down Ezreal, and then the Faker tops back in, gets most of his combo off. And that's a 4 for 1. Should just about do this game. We got a Void Staff now on Faker. And a Hunting Guys. What the fuck? I thought he only had I don't know. I was looking at that wrong, I guess. So pretty much the highest damage 4 items you can get for that amount of gold. There's items with more damage than Haunting Guys, obviously, but it gives him the quickest spike. Not that it matters at this point. This game has blown open. Although the gold is still somewhat respectable, that Baron and just the way the last 3 or 4 team fights have gone would tend to lead me to think that this game won't go on for too much longer. When you have LeBlanc soloing Dragon, that is one sign of that. LeBlanc is a pain in the ass to do big jungle monsters with. If you're super ahead, you can kill blue fast, but she has no sustain, so taking damage from like blue buff or red buff or whatever just sucks. And obviously Dragon would be the end of that spectrum, but apparently she's just so fed that she can just blow up Dragon in like, I don't know, 10 seconds or however long that was. So we'll see if Brain gets too close. If he does, I expect him to die pretty quickly. At this stage in the game, the game's pretty much over in their heads, most of the people playing. I expect them to be a little more risky, and I expect Faker to pretty much go all out on the first person he finds. No, maybe not the first. So they just want to get that that bottom wave push in, and then they can group or split push or play it however they want. Olaf thought he was tanky, but LeBlanc has 5 items. You're not that tanky, Olaf. Now LeBlanc's kind of sitting back waiting for her cooldowns. Another thing about LeBlanc is you don't need to die just because you already use your spells. Since you're generally going to be engaging with W, you can retreat with W as well and kind of hide in the back of the fight and wait for a chance to come back in and finish some people off. But anyways, that was not a surprising result, but still pretty fun to watch. Faker just stomped. 16-3-6 is his final score. 14k gold. Highest on the other team was 10k. Pretty much domination, like you would have expected. Finished the game with 611 AP. You saw some cool LeBlanc tricks there. Not a whole lot to learn from a like theoretical point of view. Saw some LeBlanc combos, but that was mainly just about execution and watching the best mid laner in the world embarrass people with a really snowbally champ. Anyways, this week is going to be kind of a pseudo Faker week for my commentaries. I'm going to run over a few games that he played when he was
playing on the NA server. Try to find some of the most entertaining ones. But you should be able to expect probably 2 or 3 more Faker commentaries if you are a fan of his, or just like seeing kind of the best players in the world. As always, feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments, request any matchups, any champions, or any players that you would like to see commentated. And please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy it. Thanks.